Hi, this is Andrew Bridgewater from andrewbridgewater.com, and welcome to this very special Mood and Food Quick Start session, which is all about how to relieve stress and boost your immunity during the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I'm recording this at the beginning of April 2020 when we've been in lockdown in the United Kingdom for just over a week. And excuse me, it really is a very challenging time for many people. I live solo at the moment, so I'm keeping busy, trying to keep to some sort of routine, get some regular daily exercise as far as it's permitted, and most importantly, eat healthily in order to relieve stress and boost immunity. And that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to quick start the course with particular focus on things that you can do right now during the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. Um, so let's talk about the session objectives. I'm going to help you understand how food choices can boost your immunity and reduce stress levels at the moment. There's a lot you can do, some of it not well known about, and it really will make a significant difference to you. Now, I recorded the Mood and Food course just a few months ago before the pandemic occurred, but all of the material in the course is highly relevant right now, even more so actually. So I wanted to produce this quick start video just to get you going, get you into the course and help you experience the benefits as soon as possible. I'll also give you an awareness of the simple science behind the choices that I'm going to talk about and their impact on your brain and body health, and also show you how you can understand and measure the benefits you're going to get within 21 days. So this is the content. I'm going to talk first of all about feeding your brain the right fats. Then I'm going to talk about gut health and boosting immunity, because did you know that over 70% of your immune system resides in the gut? And therefore it makes huge sense to look after your gut health right now. Not well talked about. There's lots of talk about social distancing and hand washing right now, but there's very little talk about boosting immunity in order to flatten the curve. In other words, to reduce the load on health services so that they have enough critical care beds and ventilators to deal with the seriously ill. And that's what we're trying to do here. So flatten the curve, help you deal with what's coming up right now. I'm going to show you how to add wheatgrass to water for extra energy and extra health. And I'm also going to show you then exactly what to eat in order to reduce stress and boost immunity, with particular focus on snacking, because I guess many of us are snacking maybe more than we would normally do. And I'll show you how to snack in order to relieve stress and boost immunity. I'll give you some useful vitamins and supplements, as well as a discounted supply for those. And then I'll talk you through some next steps. So feeding your brain the right fats. Your brain is over 60% fat, so it really does need to be fed the right fuels, particularly at the moment, in order to work optimally. And it's omega-3 fatty acids that are particularly crucial for your brain health. Now, these are not made in the body, so they need to be ingested. And really good sources of omega-3 fatty acids are extra virgin olive oil, which you can drizzle onto salads and vegetables, delicious. Wild salmon, I say wild because farmed salmon often lives in a polluted environment where they're fed hormones, so you probably want to get wild if you possibly can. Mackerel, tuna and anchovies. And if you don't eat fish, supplement with a good quality fish oil. And again, I'll give you a source of that later on in the presentation, which you can get at a discount. Or if you're vegetarian or a vegan, consider supplementing with flaxseed oil. Avocados are wonderful fuel. God's butter, they're sometimes described as, very high in vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids, and make a great snack if you mash them, add some ground pepper, ground rock salt, and smear over an oat cake. Absolutely delicious. And then finally, coconut oil. Lots of talk about coconut oil at the moment, but it really is a healthy oil which you should light fry in rather than extra virgin olive oil, which changes its molecular structure on frying. Coconut oil is delicious. It helps you burn fat more quickly, and it really is healthy for the brain. You can get hold of it very cheaply. Most supermarkets these days, a few pounds, doesn't need to be refrigerated. And as I say, it tastes delicious, particularly with a stir fry. So secondly, I want to talk about gut health, stress and immunity. As I said at the beginning, the gut houses over 70% of our immune system and is the gatekeeper of inflammation. Inflammation is heavily linked with immunity. So the more we are handling inflammation, the better we are going to be at dealing with the virus. And also inflammation is highly related to mental health. So the more we can control inflammation at source, the better our mental health generally, particularly depression and anxiety. As I say there, depression and anxiety are strongly linked with inflammation. And it's this thing called the vagus nerve, which I'll say a lot more about in the course, that delivers information from the gut to the brain and vice versa. And it's a two-way street. So if you think of something like irritable bowel syndrome, which is the gut responding to stress from the release of chemical hormones, or adrenaline and cortisol from the brain, or the beginning from the brain, if you like, then you're going to find that this is a two-way street, and you're going to experience some IBS, but also you can get gut feelings about someone or something, which is where the gut is feeding information to the brain. So really, this is a very important thing to be aware of, and I'll say a lot more about it in the course. Two ways that you can improve your gut health. First is to eat prebiotic foods, and the second is to make sure that your diet encourages friendly bacteria in the gut, the probiotic approach. Now, lots of talk about friendly bacteria, but I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the science here, and as I say, I'll go into more detail in the complete course. But prebiotic foods contain indigestible fiber, and these encourage the growth of good bacteria in the gut. So some examples of foods which are prebiotic would be artichokes, asparagus, apples, onions and leeks, as well as white rice and potatoes. And then the second approach that I mentioned is the probiotic approach. So this is where you're adding fermented foods such as sauerkraut, probiotic yogurt, and also wherever possible avoiding sugar and processed foods in quantity, because those are damaging to your gut bacteria, your healthy gut bacteria. Now, probiotic yogurts often contain sweeteners and artificial sweeteners, which aren't necessarily good for the gut. So just be careful there. Have a careful look at the ingredients. And what you can do is, if you're anyway concerned about getting the right amount of friendly bacteria in the gut, you can supplement with something called acidophilus, which you can get from any good health food store. It's not expensive. One capsule a day will be feeding you 2 billion friendly bacteria into your gut. So a really good way of making sure that your gut is healthy right now in order to not only deal with stress, but also boost your immunity to coronavirus. So the next thing I want to talk about is adding wheatgrass to your water. Each of the trillions of cells in your body needs water to provide it with electro energy. No other fluids will do. And many people are seeking remedies for symptoms that are simple complications of dehydration. And that seems to me to be wrong. 2 litres of water a day is harder than you think, because many people have become conditioned to an almost permanent state of dehydration. So you need to build up gradually. And my particular emphasis here is on adding wheatgrass to water. Now, I've got some wheatgrass with me now. I drink it regularly through the day. And initially, when you start here, add a teaspoon of wheatgrass to a litre of water, shake up the bottle. Wheatgrass comes in a powdered form, and slowly build up to 2 teaspoons in a litre of water, and do that twice a day. So you'll be getting your 2 litres of water with wheatgrass added. Now, wheatgrass will basically give you 10 doses of vegetables in 1 litre when you add it in the concentration that I've just described there. But you need to build up slowly because it's very detoxifying. That's how powerful it is. So just follow the steps in the lesson on mood and food, which I explain exactly how to add wheatgrass to your water. Wheatgrass contains iron, calcium, copper, and zinc. So it's a really, really useful supplement right now. So next I'm going to talk about eating to relieve stress and boost immunity. So specific things that you can eat with particular reference to snacking, because I guess we're all doing more of that right now. And as I hinted earlier, sugary snacks can wreak havoc not only with your gut health, but also with your blood sugar levels. So it's really important that we have some healthy alternatives at the moment. Now, nuts and seeds are particularly good. Nuts and seeds are the pent up store of energy, or have the pent up store of energy, which is going to sprout into a plant. So if you think about it, they're extremely nutritious and very good for us, especially walnuts, almonds, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds. And walnuts in particular are high in plant-derived omega-3. And I mentioned the importance of omega-3 earlier in the context of your brain health. They're also very high in protein and vitamins E and B6, so a wonderful snack. And if you're not particularly keen on the taste or the texture, just mix them in with a few salted peanuts to change the flavor and texture, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And as I say, they're extremely good for you, as are organic raisins and apples and blueberries right now. And I mentioned that oat cakes can be really nice when you spread some mashed avocado on them, but they're a very good source of protein and will keep you fuller for longer than crisps will. So much healthier and much better for your nutrition right now. And very importantly, don't skip meals. I know that a lot of people miss breakfast and have got accustomed to that, but right now you need all the help you can get to relieve stress and boost immunity. So having a healthy breakfast and eating something sensible every 3 hours has never been more important. Three other things that I want to mention here. Broccoli, one of the most nutrient dense foods, a fantastic thing to be eating right now, and something you should definitely be including in your nutrition, as is spinach. Popeye was right. It's good for you. It's very high in plant-derived omega-3. And good for vitamins B, C, and E, as well as calcium, zinc, and iron. So a really, really good food to be supplementing with or including in your diet right now. If you can't get it fresh, frozen is fine and often more convenient. And then finally, I want to talk about oranges and tangerines, very high in fiber, vitamin C. There's a lot of evidence that vitamin C is being used in some countries as a direct intravenous supply to people with coronavirus. I'm not saying it's a cure, but there's a lot of evidence that it's having very positive effects, and there are no upper limits. So obviously don't go crazy, but you can consume quite a lot of vitamin C and you'll be doing yourself a lot of good right now. And oranges and tangerines are also very high in folic acid, potassium, and pectin. And then I want to also add some useful vitamins and supplements. Really, really helpful right now, more than ever, that you make sure you're getting all the nutrients that your mind and body needs in order to deal with stress and also boost your immunity to coronavirus. So I've already talked about adding wheatgrass to water for extra energy and vitality. Consider an iron supplement with vitamin C and also B group vitamins if you're feeling consistently tired. But generally, a good quality multivitamin will be very beneficial. It will act as an antioxidant. In other words, it will be anti-aging and immune boosting, and it'll make sure that you're getting all the essential nutrients you need, the micronutrients that you need. Now, I take a day off a week with a multivitamin to make sure that my system does become conditioned to the benefits. So make sure that you just take a day off occasionally. As I say, I do that once a week to make sure that you continue getting the benefits. And then evening primrose and fish oil have been found to be as effective in combating low mood as pharmaceutical drugs. That's really important. Now, I'm not saying that if you're on medication for anxiety, depression, or any other condition, you should stop taking it or taper off right now. You need the support and the agreements of the person who prescribed that medication before you make any changes. But do look into healthy alternatives. And as I say, evening primrose oil and fish oil really helped me when I was depressed back in 2006. And if you haven't listened to my story, please do. In the introduction to the Mood and Food course, it explains my whole rationale for creating this and how I dealt with the severe stress and depression, which put me into a psychiatric hospital for 5 weeks in 2006. Now, I've given you a special discount code here where you can get 20% off your order of high quality vitamins and supplements at igenus.com, IGENNUS.com, and use the code ADVITALITY, all one string in capitals, at the checkout, and you get 20% off your order. Have a browse there. There's some great materials, some great vitamins and supplements under those categories I'm mentioning on this slide. And then finally, next steps and further support. So in terms of implementing this, what I'd suggest, and I talk about this more on the Mood and Food course, is to select 2 of the steps and commit to doing those for the next week, and then add another step each week. And you'll find that the benefits will compound in slight edge fashion, small, simple things combining to produce a massive difference. And I also suggest you keep a mood diary. The Mood Notes app is very good for this if you prefer a technology approach, and you can record your progress in that. I'll say a lot more about that in the course. And then you can also book a free 30-minute consultation with me where we'll speak over Zoom like this, either with or without video, entirely up to you. And I can help you personally with the challenges that you've got right now. And as I say, that's a free 30-minute consultation at www.andrewbridgewater.com/30 minutes. So you can go to that link and book your 30-minute session. And if you have any questions, please do email me, andrew@andrewbridgewater.com. So this has been a very brief run through some of the most pertinent aspects of Mood and Food, which will help you right now to relieve stress and boost your immunity to coronavirus. And as I say, please go on and study the complete course to get the most of this really important information right now. So I wish you every success and look forward to connecting with you personally. Bye for now.